Hi guys, my name is Amy Hedtke. I have been heavily involved in local government since 2006 when I helped a neighbor campaign for and win a mayoral election in Red Oak, and subsequently spent time on the Parks and Recreation and Library boards. I have been attending local meetings in Waxahachie since moving here several years ago. I follow issues closely at the city, school district, county, and state levels that affect residents in tangible ways, with an emphasis on property rights and fiscal responsibility. I am a tried and true defender of taxpayers. I have a record of working incredibly hard to keep taxes low by leading bond defeats and holding elected officials accountable. Many of you have seen the videos that I have streamed via Facebook of all sorts of political meetings. You can find a lot of them at the Waxahachie Watchdog Facebook group. Our efforts in November 2017 saved the residents about $30 million plus interest and kept a crazy tax hike at bay, preventing yet another unnecessary publicly funded building that would have operated at a loss. Voters are trying to tell elected officials what they need. Taxes are already too high. Voters are trying to tell you that they need relief. The incumbents have demonstrated that they don't want to hear that and failed to provide actual relief when they had a chance to do so. Even the May 2018 reduced bond package was not a slam dunk win and relied on methods that I challenged in court to get it passed. We can't keep spending at this level. Not in the city and not even in the school district. It's not sustainable, and they are killing the goose that is providing all your fiscal eggs. I am a huge proponent of the free market and would love to see the city utilize more free market methods to fund various projects. There's simply a ton of things that don't require tax money to gain voluntary community support. I would like to see a group of local leaders committed to what we see affirmed in the Declaration of Independence, being guards of future security to defend your rights, not trample them. Life, liberty, and property rights are the foundation of a healthy community. I already do these things. I testify at the state and local levels in defense of property rights, free market principles, and less government intrusion. And I support the countywide Proposition A to limit how cities can forcefully annex property. I speak up for First Amendment rights and will not waver when unconstitutional actions need to be challenged, whether they be from the school district last year in setting up electioneering free speech zones, or the city in trying to limit what billboards can display, like that praying hands billboard debacle just south of the city. I am a huge fan of using Facebook to live stream meetings at all levels of government, and I encourage everyone to consider doing what I've been doing for years, be the press. I would love to see a more engaged community. When I'm speaking with people at their doors, I meet people who want to follow more of what is going on, who don't feel represented in their local government, but are overwhelmed at learning so much in a short time. This is another reason I'd like to see streaming and archiving of meetings expanded. It's easier for people to join the process at lots of different opportunities throughout the day at their convenience to watch discussion of an archived meeting rather than try to catch up at any city council meeting where agenda items are disposed of in a matter of minutes with minimal discussion. Mary Lou was right. 2 meetings a month does not teach you what you need to know about Waxahachie City government. We need people to have more access from their homes with our city. Hi guys. I believe their biggest strength is their ability to be a central hub of information so residents can get immediate information about numerous aspects and activities in the city. Their weakness is that they are bound by a lot of state laws and regulations that tie their hands and make it more difficult to work through the free market. I would like to see the city pursue more voluntarily funded public projects with council and staff, including the skill set of professional fundraising for voluntary revenue streams, instead of so much reliance on taxes. Some creative problem solving would go a long way. City council members and staff have an incredible amount of access to state research and support and networking with other cities to find ways to reduce spending and shift revenue streams. A huge weakness is that they tend to use whatever tool is available to legally violate property rights and individual rights and interfere in the free market, instead of choosing to not use those tools and defend the rights of people. I hope they will learn to resist the easy ways that end up hurting people and work the harder angles that preserve our rights. Right now we have agenda packets that are posted online for people to see immediately. I'd like to see them include a link of an archived video or audio of each meeting too. It's an easy solution to help those at home learn more about their city beyond those 2 council meetings a month. Of course, there's decisions made by the current council that lots of people oppose because we wouldn't have 3 challengers for 2 incumbents otherwise. Besides the refusal to lower the tax rate by even 1 penny, I'd like to see residents have more opportunities to weigh in at the ballot box on projects that cost millions of dollars. When talking to voters at the door, I found most were shocked that the amphitheater project was even being considered on the taxpayer dime. They want to see basic infrastructure covered and tax money returned to the taxpayer. Every single city-owned venue operates at a loss, costing residents more each year just to keep them maintained. Our elected leaders seem to know very well that any economic benefit of many such projects is not enough to gain the support of most voters at the ballot box. I believe that it was wrong to use certificates of obligation to pay for that non-emergency project instead of letting the residents vote in a public bond election. Future expenditures should be considered via public bond elections, not pushed through by 5 people. The Praying Hands billboard, south of the city, in the ETJ, that was a debacle. Waxahachie needs to abolish their unconstitutional ordinance regulating content on billboards, not just tweak it. That they even attempted to defend that is unacceptable. Customer service is nice, but a lot of people are tired of being serviced. People need tax relief. This is not limited to Waxahachie, folks. Texans all over the state are drowning in debt and spending, and the state legislature isn't helping alleviate that. It's up to the leaders at the local level to step up and slash spending to a sustainable level. Taxpayers need a break, and they need a voice that understands how seriously they need that break. Your 2 incumbents refused to even consider a 1-cent tax decrease, while other members of the council dismissed the savings to the average taxpayer as a pound of grapes, a pack of cigarettes, and a latte. Guys, this is not the city's money. Those dollars amount to real payments towards real bills that mean a lot to the regular resident working 2 jobs to meet expenses and put food on the table. And they aren't all buying lattes and cigarettes. Many are scrounging for that extra $10 a month to put towards payments on major bills. The city needs to improve how they are responding to the needs of the taxpayer. I will continue being a voice for those people. I'm going to repeat also streaming of more city meetings. Like she said, 2 meetings a month is not enough for people to learn what the city is about. The great thing about those simple things is that they're usually pretty achievable. My major achievable goal is to expand live broadcasting of more city meetings. The topic was brought up for discussion last year, and the 2 incumbents spoke against using the city camera, the one that is already sitting in the room specifically for broadcasting city council meetings, to stream other official city meetings held right there in City Hall. Transparency and visibility of even committee and briefing level discussions is vital to the average resident being able to understand why and how decisions on complex topics are made. By the time an issue is considered for a minute or 2 at a city council meeting, it's already been discussed at great length in committee meetings and city council briefing sessions. Just this past couple weeks, we've had at City Hall, city council briefing, city council meeting, cemetery board meeting, Heritage Preservation Commission meeting, Planning and Zoning Commission briefing, Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, Tax Increment Reinvestment Sum number 1 meeting, Keep Waxahachie Beautiful Committee meeting, Civil Service Commission meeting, and the only one that is streamed by the city is the City Council meeting itself. From the minutes of the May 21st, 2018 City Council meeting, Council Member Mary Lou Shipley stated, taking this beyond City Council and Planning and Zoning meetings is overreaching. Council Member Chuck Beatty stated he prefers people to attend City Council meetings where they can sit and watch the council deliberations. If streaming, people won't come to council meetings where the decisions are made. We have a lot of people who are elderly, working nights, have small children or other physical disabilities who can't get to these meetings. This is such a simple tool, but our elected officials are fighting it, kicking and screaming. Informed resident involvement, opinion, and input is crucial to identifying what residents truly desire in their community. This is a tool that impacts not just tax rates and city projects, but future discussions for years to come. Information is powerful. There are no misstatements. The certificates of obligation were printed in the paper. That is debt. That's on you. Streaming meetings is not that expensive. I do it hundreds of times a year. I like thoroughbreds. I love Arabians. But we need mules, we need quarter horses, and Waxahachie should stay out of people's way and let them decide how they want their little piece of Texas to look. You have 4 boxes to defend your rights and liberties: soapbox, jury box, ballot box, and ammo box. Right now we are using the soapbox, and in just a few days we'll be using the ballot box. Time is running out to engage your community. Fewer than 20% of your neighbors will decide who leads the city. I would love to see the voter turnout double from last year in this election. That will still be a pretty small percentage of voters, but we'll get more people active in the process. The tax rate isn't low enough. People need tax relief, not the status quo. They haven't raised the rate, but they aren't going to lower it either. We are block walking to get the word out about this election, and we need your help. Please consider reaching out and helping us. 682-209-7015 is my cell number. Grab it, run with it. You can catch me on Facebook. I'm on there all the time. Or you can email me, amyfortexas@gmail.com, or check out my website, amyfortexas.com. I appreciate your time and support, and we'll see you online whether I win or not. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Well, maybe to Taco Cabana after this, so y'all swing on by.